let's jump straight into this. Have your paper and pens available? Because we will need that. All right. I will check the chat a little bit every now and then, not all the time, because I'm trying to also manage all these platforms here. But I will have a look and sneak over, and then I'll answer straight away when something comes up in the chat. But welcome, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this online channel where we are at Substack. My name is Rika Latosh. If someone else who doesn't know me dragged you in here and told you to join the class today, the class is for free. This is our second free class. In August is when we're starting the regular subscription for the ones that want the higher membership, right? So otherwise, the free one is 2 articles per month, where we talk about these different concepts of the yogic philosophy and how we can work that into our daily life, not just in a yoga practice. But the paid one, which is only 12 euros per month, includes 4 classes, 90 minutes, such as this one today, and also 4 articles, 2 are a little bit more in depth and 2 are a bit more brief. So the 2 brief ones are the free ones, and then you got the more in depth ones. And also, if you are a member of the subscription, the videos after the classes will be available all the time. So it's not going to be just within 48 hours or a week or 2. But as long as you're a part of this community, you'll have availability to all these classes. And even if you're going away for a couple of weeks for vacation, you can always come back to that library and to see where the videos are and just scroll through and work through them in your own time and pace. Please let me know where you're joining from today. So write in the chat the city or maybe the country if you only prefer that. And if you were here last week, let me know that too. That would be great to know who's back. I also know that there's a little bit of a delay, so I might be like having a bit of a, some people call it a pregnant pause, or I would call it more of an artistic pause, artistic silence every now and then, just to let you guys pick up the sound and then have time to also answer. Let's see, Fieros in Sweden, recognize that, haven't been Västerås, welcome, and okay. So, second and last free class today. Whatever you noticed from last week, even just one sentence in the notebook that you maybe had, bring that same attention tonight. Yeah. So tonight's theme is right there in the title, that the body remembers before the mind understands. The body remembers before the mind understands. So we can have moments where we feel things taking place in our body. It can be stress, it could be a memory, a trauma, or something like that. And the body can feel it. It can feel this blockage, this tension. But our mind doesn't always comprehend that, or at least not as fast. It can be that the mind picks it up slightly later. And later can be minutes later, seconds later, but even years later. And I'm pretty confident that I think we all have things that is stuck in our mind, that's stuck in our body. And then things that we have not really managed to connect with the mind. So we might not know why it's stuck in your body, why there's any blockage that is more emotional in the physical body, or energetical, or just sometimes just physical, that's connected to your mind. We'll feel what that means before we talk about it. Yeah. So last week we talked about the breath as more fundamental than the body. Tonight, a related idea is that the body often holds information before the thinking mind catches up to it. Yeah. A held shoulder, right? We all probably had that. Before you name the stress, to be one thing. A held breath. Before you name the fear. And practice in this view isn't just an exercise, it's a way of listening to something that already knows. And so there can be a lot of things coming up for you today. And sometimes when we see something coming up, an emotion, a fear, a trigger, what happens, which is common, is that we are trying to make ourselves feel safe, and there's nothing bad with that. But sometimes we do it in a way where we don't really allow ourselves to release. So we're kind of blocking or caging that feeling. That is also why we often see people being a bit more tensed up, having shrugged shoulders or a closed chest. It could be a lot of pain that we faced, physical or emotional, that then our body is trying to protect us from, right? But the mind doesn't really understand why. And then we're trying to do all these like openings in our body and train and yoga and all to fix it, but we don't really know why. And it often helps when we start to get those 2 points together. So, notebooks, one sentence. Name a place in your body that tends to hold something before you consciously noticed what it's holding. I'll say it again. Name a place in your body that tends to hold something before you consciously noticed what it's holding. All right? Meanwhile, while you write all these notes down in your notebook, I'll just check out the chat. Jenny from Lilio, you were here last week. Perfect, nice. Gothenburg. Oh, you went to my classes yesterday. They were silly. Oh, yeah, Masthugget. Beautiful. Motala, Svedala Skåne, Jenny. Let me know when you've written down your sentence. Just a little thumbs up or done in the chat. So something that a place in your body that holds something before you consciously notice what it's holding. And you might still feel that it's holding something, but that doesn't mean that you now necessarily know what it is that you're holding. Okay. It doesn't mean that you already know what it is, but you may notice that there is something there. Great, okay. Beautiful, you are getting done here. So, we're starting with our breath. We're going to work through our pranayama practice. So put the notebooks and the pen to the side. Now, our first more physical part of physical practice, which is the pranayama practice. What's your head? The teaching diction. It's Nadi Shodhana, the more simple version. So you may have tried this with me in other online classes, or you may have practiced this in other yoga classes before. So Nadi Shodhana has a lot of different versions. We got some that's a bit more focusing on the Ida and some on the Pingala, so some more on the uplifting energy and some of the more calming, grounding energy. Or we have the version where we just balance out both sides, sending equal amount of oxygen to both brain hemispheres. So what we're going to do today is to start by blocking the right nostril with a thumb. You will have your peace fingers at the eyebrow center. There's an option here. Some people don't like it because they feel like it's in the way. You can, in that case, take your index fingers into the center of your hand and then keep the ring finger and pinky finger for the left nostril, right? So you can use your right hand, right thumb blocking the right nostril, and then ring finger and pinky finger will block the left. So starting by keeping your hand close to the face, inhale through both nostrils, and exhale fully through both. Now block the right side. Inhale slowly. Block the left. Exhale through the right. Option, fingers at the eyebrow center. Inhale through the right. Block right. Open left. Exhale. Now inhale through the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale forward. 3, 2, 1. Change. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. So keep going. Inhaling, closing, exhale. Inhale, closing, exhale. Yes, so there is an inhale and an exhale in both nostrils. Do it slow and steady. Make sure that there's space between your upper teeth and lower teeth, that the jaw is relaxed. Tongue is resting at the roof of your mouth. Lips sealed. You may notice a difference in the nostrils. The one nostril might feel a little bit more blocked than the other. Keep it slow and steady. If it feels challenging with that 4, maybe shorten it. If you can keep them 4, relaxed, peaceful, no holding, no tension, keep going. Okay, I'm checking the comments here. Chris says, you feel in your heart and stomach before, and he uses paper and pen these days. Well, I'm still using paper and pen. We should. So this, meanwhile, while you guys are writing down your preferences, this Nadi Shodhana is a deeper breath than the last week if you're on bed. It's not harder, it's just more attentive. So there's 2 channels instead of 1. Keep your jaw relaxed. Let the belly be soft, and let the belly also move with your breath. Few more rounds. Sound is better as well. Thumbs up if the sound is better. Yes, okay, good. Thank you, Maya. All right. We are back. Beautiful. So we just finished the Nadi Shodhana, the alternated nostril. Let me see. I feel like I'm missing someone here. I am missing someone. Let's see. Okay, I'll keep an eye here out for Krista was joining. So we did a Nadi Shodhana. We reflected on whereabouts in our body that we can feel that we're holding something before we consciously notice what it is that we're holding. And sometimes we can still notice it, but we don't really know what it is, right? So now we're going to move our body a little bit more to try to connect with that, see what can be released. So as you're moving up to all fours on your mat, spread your arms apart, tuck your toes, and find a connection to your navel and spine. And as you're elongating through the spine, keep your jaw relaxed. Or tall through the crown of your head. What you're going to do is to observe first whereabouts in your body you would start to move when you move in cat-cow, but don't move yet. Just observe where in the body this would normally take place. Just noticing it's like you want to move through the cat-cow, but you're not allowing yourself to do that yet. Just observe which area that usually feels like it's kind of lightening, turning on. And then from there, slowly, mindfully, starting to move into cat, cow. As you move through your cat, cow, observing if there's anything from, for example, last week that you can integrate. Moving through your cat, cow without pausing. Letting the cat and the cow be connected to each other. So we're not really pausing. For example, here, cow, and then to cat. It's a constant movement. Just like you're letting the waves, the spine, be the waves of the ocean. And sometimes it's hard because we feel it's easy when we have a complete opening, right? And a complete closing. But here, see what happens if you complete without any sort of break. Then you might notice that where you usually would pause, where you may think that it's a full course or a completed one, that there is more to move through. Jaw relaxed. Tip of the tongue into the roof of the mouth. Allow spaciousness in your mouth. And as you start moving more and more without trying to perform it, it also becomes the like you're trying to hypnotize the spinal flex. Never ending cycle. And you notice that that spinal movement is not just going up and down, but it almost feels like a loop, right? Like your waves are going into a loop. So notice if you can kind of just move through those waves and rolling through that loop. If it's hard, slow it down. Maybe try increase the pace and see what happens there. Sometimes we work with somatic movements to release things. You can also, maybe you've heard about somatic dance. People also dance differently and they are experiencing release in the body. But it's a build up there, right? So we're starting to stir the pot and to get things going in the body that have been stuck. Sometimes we can't really feel like the spine if we just move through a few cat cows. So now we keep going through those cat cows. A few more times. We're noticing there's part of the spine that kind of is the driver. There's the one that lets that movement get more energy. More times. And one more time. And pause in a cow, widen through the chest. Then roll your eyes up to eyebrow center. It looks a bit freaky, but you want to let your eyes go up to the center, so up, back, and inwards. What might happen is your eyes might be flaring around like this, but shaking a bit. That's okay. Just try to relax your eyelids. Rotate the eyes up and back and inwards. And as you exhale, anchor through the palms of your hand, round through the spine, shape your chest, close your eyes. Inhale, come into a full cow, roll the eyes up. Relax your eyebrows, drop the forehead, soften the forehead. As you exhale, chin to chest, close your eyes like you're moisturizing the eyes. And again, inhale, open, roll them up. And exhale. And come to center. From here, keep your toes tucked. Move the hips back. And then walk yourself all the way up to seated on your toes. Now this, your feet will love. Your toes will love this. You might not like it though. You might already feel discomfort in your feet. And if you've been practicing me for quite some time, you know how I usually put a lot of emphasis on opening up your feet. And often we have our feet in foot gel, which will be another chapter, another class. So we'll focusing on that. Just now, let your feet take some of your body weight. Keep your chest upright. Let your arms rest into your lap, palms face upwards. Widen through the chest, ears away from shoulders. And then notice if you tend to lean forward because of discomfort, or if you can lean a bit more back, and often just lean a bit back, just helps us to stay right. So relax, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. In, and out. Send that breath to your feet. Notice if you're holding something. And release, soften. One more time. And as you exhale now, tuck the toes. Relax your feet. From here, we move to a Tadasana mountain pose. So come up gently to standing. Make sure you don't do it too fast so you don't get dizzy in case you have low blood pressure. And from here, what we're going to do is to transition with that awareness of where we usually fall block when we're trying to move into opening and then release that. So some of the most common things in a yoga asana practice is, for example, when we're coming from a forward fold into something that we're lengthening, either we're on our way up or we're on our way down, for example, in a sun salutation. So we're going to do Adra Uttanasana, and we're going to do that breath synced. So how it's going to look like, that you will modify if needed. Probably you'll do the modified version. You can also try the full version. So what you're going to do is to start hip width distance. You remember we did this last week, where we found that foundation of standing Tadasana. But you're going to bend over straight away. So bend the knees and release, fold forward completely. Now, as you keep your feet hip width distance, you spread the toes apart. Drop the head and neck down fully. Uttanasana is a half lift or tabletop position. So some of us may do it this way. We'll come onto our fingertips, lengthen through the spine and arms, and we look forward. Now this is all right. We can also come with a little more height, keep the feet on the ground, but we're only on index fingers and little finger here. This may also be okay if we have that space in our body, but often we don't have that. That's why we also place our hands onto the shin bones and keep the wrists just beneath the knees. And then we lengthen the arms. Here, we have a pretty good straight spine. Now notice here that your ears can move away from your shoulders much more. Keep the knees micro bent. Now, we can create tension and stress in this position, but we can also release, we can create strength, and we can open up what is tight. So what happens here is when we come into halfway lift, it happens very briefly, and then we come back out again and down, right? Like what I want you to do is instead in a forward fold, anchor through the soles of the feet, keep the knees micro bend, and then feel how that pressure on your feet starts to communicate with your glutes. As you keep anchoring through the feet, noticing that the glutes are now telling your spine to come up into a half lift or a tabletop. Some of you will feel like fingers on the ground, feels pretty good and solid. Depends on what your hamstrings say. Some of you will feel like you want to press even further down and let your spine come higher up so that your hands can be on your shin bones. Remember, it's beneath this. Now, if your elbows are bent, press your hands towards the legs in order to make your spine longer and your shoulders and ears will move further away from your legs. So as you press the hands down, it helps your arms to be straight. Now imagine that you're opening, this is a crazy thought, but imagine you're opening up your butt. Yeah, your sit bones, like a book. So what you want to do is to move the sit bones straight back, sending the hips back. Keep lengthening the crown of your head forward. It's like someone is pulling you from the crown of your head or your head. So you notice two different directions. One is going straight back, one is going straight forward. Ears away from shoulders. Keep your shoulder blades back. Keep your arms straight, no matter if you have fingers on the ground or on your legs. So the legs here to start with is pretty intense. How we're holding here. In and out through the nose. Inhalation. Exhalation. Now start to roll your shoulders back in this position. Option, place your hands onto the shoulders and then move the shoulders back. Notice the core is engaged here and it helps the lower back to stay stable. And then move forward with the shoulders. And then move backwards again. And then release all the way down. Relax your lower back. Inhalation. Exhalation. Relax your head and neck. Shake your head a bit. Yes. No. Maybe. Yes. And get to the soles of the feet. Now press the feet down and then let your spine be relaxed. Roll up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Noticing the sensations in your hamstrings and your glutes and in your lower back. You might feel a bit more engagement there. If you need to, shake it off. But just that one lift is actually very, very powerful, and we can create a lot of strength and a lot of space in the body, which we often hold if we have time to do it. If it doesn't move too fast in and out. Fast in and out feels kind of like more a symbolic movement sometimes when it goes too fast, right? So when we're moving into a Surya Namaskar, what we usually do, for example, we're folding forward, coming to a flat back, we sink down and then step back, right? But that forward fold and that lift doesn't fully get the experience that it wants. We don't really activate what we can activate. So we don't kind of missing out on the benefits often when we do it too fast. So let's do this little sequence very slowly. And we put a bit more emphasis on this other class. So lay arms straight all the way up above the hand palms together. Place your hands now behind you onto your lower back and then send your hips forward, one to your chest. Inhale. And as you exhale, come back round and through the spine, lower back, bend the knees, fold and down. Now, anchor through the soles of the feet, lengthen. Feel how your spine erects from the pressure of your feet. Stay here. Now notice maybe that your hands don't have to press so much onto the legs. It can be very gentle. Your arms can still be straight and your ears can move away from the shoulders. Your chest is wide, the collarbones are away from each other. The sit bones, the butt is moving straight back. Navel has a low connection to the spine. Your toes are steady. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward a bit. And I'm going to try to lean back. Lean forward and back. Notice the differences. Notice where you have a bit more of active position and more passive. Now what happens is many people are in the passive one, which is further back. It doesn't give, again, as much benefit to us as we could have gained from all these times we've done this. So now lean a bit more forward, stay here, move the ears away from shoulders. And now release, let go. Beautiful. Step your right foot, big step back in plank. Left foot follows into a plank. Stay here in plank. Bend the knees. Keep the toes tucked. 8-point lift. So with the toes, 2 points there. We've got our knees. Now bend the elbows, get your heart down, have your butt up, and then shin down. So now we've got here, 8-point lift. Reach forward into a small bhujangasana. Toenails down, wide into the heart and chest. Inhalation. And exhale all the way down. Tuck your toes, anchor through the hands, move the hips back to your heels. Bow down. Down facing down. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Step or walk. And then come into that same flat back. Notice how you already gained so much more information in how to actually get the full experience out of the Nirvana. Fold forward and down. Press the floor weight, round your spine, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, swing the arms up and above, palms together, release to heart center. Beautiful. Inhalation. Exhalation. We'll do it one more time. Swing the arms over up, inhaling. Exhale, hands to lower back. Send hips forward, wide into the chest, open the heart, elbows pointing away. And slowly back to center. Round into the knees, to the lower back, fold forward and down. Anchor to the soles of your feet. Come back into that halfway lift. Notice how much more space you have here. Exhale, fold forward and down. Step both feet onto plank. Keep your knees down. Stay with the toes tucked. Bend your elbows and let your heart down. Let the chin down. The butt is up. The throat is extended. And then now untuck the toes as you guide yourself into a small bhujangasana. Keep your armpits closed. Keep your toenails down. Inhalation. And exhalation, fold forward and down. Send the hips to heels. Bow down to downward facing dog. Lift the heels, then the knees look forward. Step or walk. Folding forward. Anchor to that same flat back. Hands on your kneecaps. And exhale, fold forward and down. Press the floor as you roll that vertebrae by vertebrae, swing the arms up and above, palms together, release the heart center. Now you may notice that you may actually will enjoy doing that halfway lift much more when you understand it more, when you actually get to do the full alignment properly. Now, something that happens when we have that shallow breathing, we were talking about the breath a lot last week, is that we sometimes don't move into the positions fully. Now, just as we did before, last week, we were expanding the breath a bit more. And here, what I want you to think of is that your ribs are widening as you do this. So what we're going to do is to come down sitting again, either knees or toes. You can be tucked with your toes if you like that foot opening, or sit on the knees or maybe cushion. We're just going to get a bit more awareness into how we breathe here, because that will also help us with our lift, and it will also help us with the other positions that we're going to do shortly. So place your hands onto your ribs. Keep your forefingers from each hand forward and the thumbs back. Roll the shoulders back and down, length through the spine. Now start to send the breath into your hands. And as you exhale, just notice how the hands sink back in. You're not forcing anything out, just letting go. As you inhale, notice what happens. Exhale fully. Keep going. What happens is that we might focus a lot on only sending the breath to our hands. We're aware of this movement now. Let's see if we can keep this widening. You can even see that here, right? How much wider it becomes in this area and how much smaller when I exhale. But it's much harder also doing it talking at the same time. Can you also do that from the belly? So you're not pushing the belly out, but you're allowing the belly to move together with the ribs. So your whole torso is breathing as well. So it's not just up here, which creates a bit more stress, or just in the belly, but connecting the upper part and the lower part together. So from the side, it may look like this. So I'm not really doing it from the belly or just from the chest. I'm using this whole vessel equally. Now, if you try to close your eyes and keep doing the same breathing, send the breath also down to the bottom of your belly. And notice how it fills up in your hands still, even though you're guiding the breath in the bottom of your belly. Jaw relaxed, face relaxed. Let go of your hands. Keep the same breathing practice. Notice the sensations of where your hands were, almost like there's a little mark on your body. If you can keep that same awareness and expansion, and with that, we move back to old fours. Find that same connection now. It's like when you breathe in, you can feel like you're almost widening through the armpits as well. But it's not because you're forcing, it's because there's so much more space there now. As you exhale, soften. Now we move the hips back to the heels and then up to down facing dog. And can you find the same awareness here? Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or walk to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Now come back into that flat back and hold it up here in the position, but don't hold your breath. Keep going. Feel the ribs and the belly, the whole vessel, your torso breathing. Now your hands are pushing the legs away, so the spine is becoming longer. The knees are micro bent still, just like before. Widen your sit bones. Ears moving further away from your shoulders. Noticing the breath moving now in your ribs. Maybe even place your hands back onto the ribs if you like. Maybe place them lower down to your belly. Feel with your hands what's happening. You might feel less movement from the belly because usually that goes a bit more forward, but it also goes to the back, to your lower back here. You can place your hands in different places of your torso and just getting to know, where is the breathing? Where am I holding? Where is it tight? And maybe an area is tight where we actually want to breathe into, but then it's just a blockage that's taking place. One more breath in. Hands to legs. Exhale, release all the way down. Now bend the knees. And open up through the spine. We're moving into Malasana. A squat where the toes and knees are pointing towards the same direction. We let our lower back become a bit more straight, so we're not creating a curve or collapsing into it. Hands to heart center, elbows sliding down towards our inner thighs. If you have a challenge with having the heels in the ground, keep them still lifted. Then maybe try one heel down and then the other. You're looking to move a little bit more here. That helps the body to feel a bit more relaxed and soften out. Otherwise, what you can do is to roll something like your mat and place that underneath, or even just roll your socks and place them underneath your heels. It wants to be helpful sometimes. All right. As you are in your malasana, now place your hands onto your shoulders. Even if you're doing the toe version, if you're standing on your toes, that's right. And then see if you can create that length through the spine. Same sensation as in this position, the halfway lift. Can you find that same lift? So the body, or the upper body, is not falling down, and then we're here. Right? We're compressing the lower back and pushing the shoulders, places where we're just trying to balance out what is tight by squeezing other body parts together. So can you build a bit more space in your torso here? Notice if you're holding something, it might be in the hips, it might be in the shoulders and the chest, it might be in the heart. Malas. Anchor through the big toes. And then have a look at your feet. Now, just feel around your arches. So the arches are these small caves around our feet. Now relax the big toe and notice how the arches are falling down. And then anchor through the big toe and notice how they're activating even more. Relax the big toe. Feel how it softens. Again, anchor through the big toe, notice that lift. So we want a soft engagement. We don't want to force too much stress here. We want to feel a bit of a lift from the center of feet. And if we use the big toes, which are the most important pressure points of our feet, we get a little bit of help right away. So you're anchoring through those big toes. And I feel that lift moving from the feet up to the spine. Notice if your spine or your back maybe gets a bit tired, maybe already some muscle soreness. Reach your arms forward and then slowly sink down onto your butt. Extend the legs forward. Beautiful. Keep your legs straight. Move the butt cheeks away from the sit bones. Spinal twist. We take our right leg and bend fully. Give it a squeeze. Now this is a very complex position, yet very common. I feel like when I teach this one in class, probably 70% are not doing it properly, even people that have been practicing for a long time. So we're going to break this down a bit more. Now we usually start with the right side because in a hatha practice, we're starting with the right side. So the right foot crosses over to the outside of left thigh. We make sure that we're sitting on the sit bones and lengthening through the spine, and that the left leg is still active, which means we're lengthening the leg and we're keeping a bit of a flexion in the foot. So torso pointing up, but don't stress your shin bone, don't stress your foot too much. So don't overdo it. Now, first we're pressing the right foot down. And the more you press the right foot down, you will notice that the right foot down, the right leg will move closer to your heart. So notice my leg here. Now I'm pressing. It's coming out. Now I'm relaxing. Sinking down. Pressing. Relaxing. So here we just get that little movement. Already our body's communicating with its limbs much better. Now as you keep anchoring through that right foot, stay there. Notice that the big toe is helpful here. And notice that the arch here is more active. Now, try from your knee and from the leg which then will communicate with your hip flexor to move the leg towards your chest. Don't move your chest forward. Move the leg towards the chest. That's it. We keep the left leg extended. There's different versions. We keep it really simple in here. Now, hug your right knee fully. Inhale. And as you exhale, give it a little squeeze. Now, if you have a bit more extra love around your belly, then maybe what feels nice is just pull that love, that flesh, that skin a bit to the side. Even if it's not much, it's just nice to take the right hand from the left hip and then kind of massage the hand, slide the belly more towards the right side. Might not be much moving, but just guiding it there. It gives sometimes more space for that twist, and your twist will become a bit more beautiful. Notice if you tend to collapse your spine here, anchor through those sit bones. Press the sit bones down, keep an upright spine. Now the left arm is hugging the right leg. Right arm goes all the way up first to let the spine understand that we are going up. We're lengthening. So we use the hand and the arm as an extension for the spine for a moment. Keep lengthening the spine through the arm and hand. And I feel like, okay, this is my lengthened spine for today. We'll inhale. And we exhale, we move that right arm back, halfway down, so it's as high up as the shoulder. And now we're moving that right arm further back, as far back as you can. Keep looking at the right hand, and then we feel like, all right, this is it. I can't move further. Release the hand down. Anchor through the hand, rotate over your shoulder with a gaze. Full breath in. Full breath out. So we're building up some of the foundation here for the upcoming program where we're going to go through all the chakras one by one, 3 weeks at a time. Inhalation. Exhalation. Option, only an option. If you feel like this is actually pretty useful for me, what you can do is to keep the right leg at the same place, but then the left arm, the elbow, travels past the knee, and you hook the tricep towards the knee. And you come into a slightly deeper twist. This is not recommended if you're pregnant. Also, if you just had a big meal, that feels a bit uncomfortable in our stomach, our digestive system. Inhalation. And exhalation. You can always test yourself by releasing the back arm and see, am I still holding my spine upright or am I collapsing and hanging? Because then we'll feel like it's hard to move the arm back. If we're lengthening, we'll feel like, oh, why do you bring more space in my chest? And I can do the same breath awareness into my torso like before. Exhale, come all the way back to center. Notice the differences in right and left. Lengthen the right leg forward and down. Shake it off. Notice now how there's maybe a bit more length on one side of the torso and it's a little bit more tight on the other side. We're going to fix that. So bend your left knee, give it a little squeeze. Place the foot on the outside, anchor down. Notice that pressing the foot down helps the knee up. Relaxing the foot drops the leg, it becomes a bit of a lazy leg. Anchor, relax, anchor, relax. Maybe even notice that the spine connects with the leg. So when I press the foot down, it helps my spine to stay more upright. It might just be that awareness that your spine was not upright and then the foot is telling the leg, which needs to communicate with the hip, which then talks to the spine and says up. And we're like, go that way. And then we release, relax. We anchor through the foot as this up. And that's yes. It might not be that you have more space in the body, you get more flexible, but you just gain more awareness in that area. Because that area now created a new pattern to communicate. As you anchor through that big toe, notice the arch. Put more awareness into the foot. Now let that knee move towards your heart. Don't move the heart towards the knee. That's it. Let the knee come closer, closer, closer without moving the body. And then now wrap your arm around. Maybe slide your left hand over to the right hip and then just adjust the belly. Just slide everything to the left side. Hold your left leg with the right arm. And then the left arm becomes an extension of your spine. All the way to the fingertips. In and out of the nose. Next, we rotate, 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 and rotate. Let the hand be as high up or as low down as your shoulder. Keep rotating and look at your hand. And as you exhale, release the hand all the way down behind you. Stay here. Remember that right foot is not lazy. You're having your gentle legs. Maybe you try that slightly deeper. Try the beef. That worked for you. Each side. So right knee. Right left right elbow onto the outside of the leg. Keep that awareness in your left foot. Inhalation. Exhalation. Keep rotating your eyes. In. Out. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly relax the body center. And lengthen forward. Notice that it feels a bit more even now into your hips. Hug both knees in. Give a little squeeze. And we are coming down onto our bellies. Really flat. Slide your legs out. Untuck the toes. Place your hands one above the other like a pillow for your forehead. Drop your forehead down. Move the ears away from the shoulders. Relax. In and out through the nose. And then wiggle and sway your hips from side to side. Like you're trying to relax and massage that lower back. Okay, find stillness. Lift the head up. Now, place your hands on the ground. Keep your forearms down. First, wrap your arms around your triceps or elbows. See if you can wrap your fingers around, not just touch with the fingertips, but actually grabbing hold of your arms. And then make sure that the elbows are just beneath the shoulders.
Och det bara det passet skulle vara 20 minuter.
Nej, 90 minuter.
Jaha, okej.
That. Ears away from shoulders. Lift through the chest. Soften the
Går
belly.
igenom varenda övning i millimeter förklaring.
Exhalation. I think someone will mute themselves. So I'm just going to mute whoever it is who's talking so we can all hear you. Let's see. There we go. In and out through the nose. Beautiful. So here, this is a lower version of our Chandrasana operation. From here, plant the hands down. Try to lift the elbows up. Widen through the chest. Find awareness to your torso and your ribs. Inhale. Exhale, rotate the biceps up, triceps down. So we're rotating triceps down, lifting through the chest. Anchor the fingertips down, and then release all the way down. Move the elbows out, hands underneath the shoulders. Walk your legs closer. Lift halfway up. Now in our baby Bhujangasana. Keep that lift. Keep your hands soft. Maybe even release the hands off the ground. Can you find the same length or something similar to that half lift, the tabletop position we did before? So that extension through the spine, even if there's a curve now in your back. And release. Let's try it again. Inhale, prepare. Toenails down, legs close towards each other. And exhale, lift up. Stay here, in and out through the nose. 3, 2, 1. And release. Wave your hands, push the floor away. Move the hips back to your heels and then ready to child. Stay now in your child's pose and send the breath to your back. Send the breath to your lower back, up around the ribs at your back. And as you're in that child's pose, see if you can widen as you're channeling the breath straight back. There's this rounding. And as you exhale, softening, settling into the body. In, out, in, and out. Inhalation and exhalation. Now slowly rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae from your child's pose. Arriving, sitting on your knees. Keep your heels tilting out. So from the behind, the knees are more out, the big toes are more in, they are touching each other. But feel the connection behind. Press your hands into the lap. Slow breath here, feel the whole torso. The vessel expanding. You're going to give a bit more love to one side of the body and then a bit more love to the other side here. So what you're going to do is you jump over to your right butt cheek. And let's move the feet a bit more to the side. Extend the left arm straight out and down. The right arm, open up the palm. Reach up, lengthen, and then over. Leaning to the side. Now, we don't want to go too deep down necessarily, but we want to find a bit of a half bend where we feel that expansiveness, that widening through the vessel, like in that halfway lift in the beginning. If we go too deep, we're doing a little compression here, which means we're also opening up a lot more here, but we don't want to go too much into that extreme right now. So find something in between that is pretty comfortable, but you also feel that widening, expansiveness. So I could go down here, but I'm going up here now. A little more space. And then I let the bottom of my shoulder, the lower shoulder, to rotate out. I can maybe even rotate my fingers back and then let the thumb point towards my left side. So it helps me to keep it more open around the shoulder. Notice you can also feel sensations in the left hand as well. Same thing around the right side, right ear and shoulder. Create space. Don't close too much. Don't block it. Don't shrug that shoulder. Move it away. Notice where you tend to hold things in the body. Then if here, when you're moving into open, active position, then maybe the same area starts to tense or brace. It may have shown up in other positions today for you. or maybe here, but just notice if that same place is often the same place that's bracing or tense, is holding something. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Release that right arm down, come back to center of the body, arrive seated on your knees. Notice the difference on right and left. Steady breath. And then jump over to the opposite side. Sitting on your left glutes. Feet more towards the right. Reach your right arm straight out and down. Lengthen. Keep the fingertips down or flat hand. Left arm open the palm, face upwards. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bending over. You don't have to show how far you're going. Just want to find a space where you're wide, but give a bit of a bend onto one side of the body at the same time. Don't want it to compress too much on the lower side. Now, right fingertips, maybe rotate them further away so they're pointing to the same direction as your toes. But your right thumb is pointing straight to the right. Move that shoulder away from the ear. Lengthen through the upper hand. Move that shoulder also in. If there's more space on this side or less, observe. Observe if you feel any connection with that being maybe your dominant side or less dominant. I definitely notice that my left side is much more open because I'm right dominant, which means there's more muscles they're working on my right side, which also makes it more tense and tight. In, out, in, out, in, and out. Inhale back to center and exhale. Arrive back seated. Notice more balance in your torso. All right, we are just going to continue sitting. Take a pillow if you like, or a blanket if you feel like you want to sit on something a bit higher. Or maybe just sit on your glutes if that's enough for you. Keep your legs in a cross-legged position. Pull the shoulders back and down. Noticing space in your torso. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. Just simple observation. Different quality or quality of attention around your vessel, your torso. Observing if the place that you mentioned, they say they usually fall into. If you feel any difference in that area, it might not be physically, but more energetically, something is lighter, or maybe that area feels more okay to be present with that's tense. You might feel the tension, you might still feel the same relationship to it, but you might also feel okay with that rather than trying to get away from it or neglect it. A few more breaths here. Jaw relaxed. Inhalation and exhalation. And release your hands down to your knees. We are transitioning to Shavasana. So come flat onto your back. If you have a blanket or pillow, you're welcome to bring that with you. Cover yourself up if you want to put your socks on. And we're gonna digest some of this before we go over to the next step. So as you arrive into your Shavasana, let your body open up fully. Let your palms face upwards. And then see also if you want to tuck your shoulder blades a bit underneath the body, if that gives a bit more space around the collarbones and the chest. Lengthen the back of your neck. Hello, Jan. Take a deep and full breath in through the nose. And sighing out. 7. Inhale again. And relax. One more time, inhale. And release. Keep your lips sealed now. Jaw relaxed. Mouth soft, spacious. No tension to be held. No tightness. And observe the areas of the body that we focused a bit more on today. Noticing how these points of awareness maybe invite your Shavasana to feel slightly different. Maybe something has changed, maybe not. And let the ground hold you the way it did last week. Notice if any part of tonight already feels familiar, more welcoming in the body. And that's the body remembering. Even before you thought about why. Arriving in complete stillness. Observing how the body might be okay in whatever it's coming up from, whatever blockage it's been living with. Just that awareness of what is present. And over time, if it doesn't release earlier, then later on, it will recognize what you actually have acknowledged. And then it'll be easier to release that tightness. And the more we release the tightness in the body, the more easeful the different postures would be, such as sitting in meditation or doing a back bend or a spine twist. Sthiram, Sukham, Asana. The asana or the pose, the posture should be steady and comfortable. Sthiram, Sukham, Asana. Posture should be steady and comfortable. Stay in complete stillness. Each breath allowing you to melt layer by layer, breath by breath, moment by moment. Take a slightly deeper breath in through the nose. And exhale. Now do a little humming sound to create vibration in this area, in this torso, the chest, the ribs, the back. Inhale. As you exhale. Maybe do other melodies like Just create a vibration. Don't focus on how it sounds like. Just find ways to vibrate into your torso. And notice the vibration also being received by the floor and how that sensation may feel like. This is interesting to also try on different surfaces. If you do it on grass outside, on stone floor on your yoga mat, or wooden floor will also be very different. So whenever you have the opportunity, try this out. One more time. And release, hum fully out. You. Now wiggle your toes, feet, fingers, and hands. Extending your arms above the head, waking up. And then bend the knees, hug your knees into the chest. And then roll over to your right side and rest on your right side for a moment. And slowly help yourself back to seated. Extend your arms up and above, palms together. Release the forehead for clarity. Lips for truth and kind speech. And heart, kindness, compassion, and gratitude. Exhale, bow down, namaste. Beautiful. Thank you for this part of the practice. Stay with me. We have a little bit left. Maybe take a sip of water or your tea, whatever you need to. As we're coming to the next part, the last part, we need to change your position of sitting, take an extra blanket around you, cozy up, do so. And so that's one of the sutras that will anchor us a lot to what's ahead of us. Okay? Sthiram Sukham Asana, finding ease, finding comfort in a pose. That is basically the essence of the physical practice. Yeah, and that physical practice then comes out to the rest of the yoga practice. So when we're, for example, sitting in meditation or sitting in pranayama practice, we have more ease. When we can find ease in the movements, in the lengthening of the body, in the twisting, we'll then find more ease in longer moments of stillness. And because here's what's also ahead of us, starting off from August the 1st. I'm just going to double check the calendar here also. Yes, August the 1st is, August the 2nd is a Sunday. Okay, starting August the 2nd is a Sunday. Hope. Because I have both the New Zealand time zone and the Swedish, so sometimes it confuses me here, but I'll still be in Sweden. We spend most of the upcoming year moving through the body's different energy centers. The 7 main, and I say main because there is a tremendous amount of energy centers in the body, but the 7 main energy centers. And we'll go from the bottom and work ourselves all the way up through the body foundation, earthing, grounding, and then travel up. With these energy centers, we'll also connect up with the elements that are connected to each energy center, different bodily functions and organs, imbalances and balances. When we have too much fire, or I wouldn't say fire, too much chi, too much prana or energy flowing into them, when there's too hyped, or when there's deficiency, we look into that as well. And these energy centers, as you maybe already have guessed, are the chakras. So the 7 energy centers, when you have too much of energy flowing into them, too little balance, and also how we can balance them out, not just by yoga practice. We get an understanding with a philosophy, but also other things in our daily life that might not even be very yoga related in your perspective, but then quickly we'll see the relationship it has to it and how a lot of things suddenly can be interlinked with yoga. We're going to start from the bottom because we want to build a foundation first, our house, and then we can go into the more trickier parts of the body's energy center. Yes, so that is what we're going to focus and deep dive into the upcoming months and throughout the year until next year. So it's the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. 3 weeks each chakra. So we'll meet each chakra in 3 different ways. It's not going to be repeating the same thing 3 times, but we'll build up on it so you get a deeper understanding. So twice through and once as the foundation, right? So you get the foundation and then we can deep dive 2 more times into it. 12 euros per month for these long sessions. Yeah. Take out your notebook and your pen once more. Okay. Write one specific thing that you want to understand better about your body or your mind. By the time we reach the crown chakra, don't share it. Just fold that page over. And just remember which page it's on. And we will not open it until, again, next Sunday. And that's when we start the deep dive. So now we had a bit of a warm-up last week and this week. Next Sunday is the official start. The journey through the energy centers. We'll begin with the root chakra. And that's the shape of the whole year. Everything else is going to be showed up on the Sundays. So every Sunday, more information, more understanding from yourself. And hopefully, my intention is to just give ways, tools for you so that you can find the answers already within you. I may not have them because I've got my own things, right? And you have your own things. But the answers, you can only find them within you, within yourself. You may find them with the help of other people, like me guiding you, or other techniques or experiences. But you don't have to create them because they're already in you, and that's the best part. And because it's so good that they're already within you, that means that not needing to create it means that we don't have to make things up. We just need to learn how to work with our body and our mind and our soul. So the information is already within us. We just need to kind of learn how to open it up in order to get away or move away, break through obstacles within ourselves that we have created or that, society and life has created for us. so that we can become more free. Mm. So, one word for how tonight feels. If you joined last week, feel free to comment a word on how you would compare tonight with the previous Sunday last week, or just one word of how tonight feels like. How would you name tonight for you? What is your experience? I see how Krista mentioned I did the humming for 1-2 minutes straight, like a radiator. Beautiful, amazing. Ingela did thumbs up for that experience. Beautiful. Thank you. That sounds great. I also do that in bed before I go, like actually try to fall asleep. I'll do that. Or I do the om, but with closed mouth. So I get the vibration. I do that 3 times before I'm like out. And that vibration puts you very nicely to sleep. Ingela says, tonight I feel softer compared to last week. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, so finding more space doesn't mean that we'll be bigger. We may also feel like, there is space to rest into, to relax into. Maya, more space around your chest. Ashira, spaciousness or spacious in the body. Beautiful. And we're still the same size in our body. We just had a lot of blockage that we now have cleansed out or moved things around. So we are more spacious. And we're not making ourselves more spacious as a different person. We're just making ourselves more us. And that's what yoga also brings out. You become more of yourself and less of what you've been conditioned through traumas, culture, society, behaviors, upbringing, all these things that have made us something that we may not fully feel like we are. Yoga within our own practice make us more ourselves. Like that's pretty cool. If that is not cool enough, then I don't know what's cooler. Any questions about the year ahead, the format, or tonight? I'm just telling you, we're gonna continue on Zoom. We just continue Zoom. So as you signed up, for you guys to sign up for the 12 euros per month, you get an email with a Zoom link like I did before, and we stay on Zoom. It's much more useful here. And then if you can't join the online class, I will upload that after the class onto Substack. So if you're having other plans and you can't join live, you can still do the practice later on. And you can do that anytime later if you have that membership, right? Then even if it's weeks later. Let's see. Jenny says it opened up more memories. Interesting, open up memories. And a little smiley face that's relaxed. So I'm assuming that's good memories as well. So that's good. Nice thumbs up. Krista, more grounding in our spaceship this week. Beautiful. Nice. Uh-huh. Yes, let me know if you have any questions regarding the format. You also get an agenda in your email with the link to the class. So the Zoom link and the agenda there. Yes, so you can feel extra prepared. All right. Let me know if there's anything else. If you're joining, if you already know now that you're joining, and some of you have already signed up. Otherwise, I wish you a beautiful continuing of your Sunday. Let's see, will you have some reading recommendations as well? Good questions. I have not thought about. We will focus on the chakras. So I do have one book that's really, really good. That it's also very easy to comprehend if you're not too deep into it. I haven't read too many spiritual books, and this one is really great. So yes, I will have that as a recommendation. That's really good that you asked. But it will be not too many different recommendations over and over, right? just things that I have worked with when I've been teaching the chakra practice. Yes, so there might be even more that I might not be familiar with that I haven't gone through yet. And if you're in Sweden, you got the library there for free, so you can always, borrow books from the library as well, which is great. Great place. Yes. All right. Some of you, I will see already on Sunday. See, already signed up. For the rest of you, I really hope to see you there. That would be great. If you know someone else who would be interested in this, or you can even gift it to someone as a birthday gift, a subscription, for example. So people can have access and you can even practice together if you live in different cities or different countries. That's a great way as well. Otherwise, I have nothing else to add now, and I will let you go. Continue the rest of your Sunday evening. Whatever's on the agenda, maybe a hot shower, cup of tea, or sleep. Thank you so much, everyone.